Hello, this is a response to Redtail 1970. Turn signals are for the weak. Hello, James. Um, I just want to add something to your turn signal discussion. Yes, they probably are for the weak, but I've got something that cripples my strength even further, and that is a Fiat Punto. Now, I've only had this car for a few months. It was bought second hand. I got a really good deal on it, except that there are a number of things about the Fiat Punto, turn signals included, or as we like to call them here in Scotland, indicators, that really piss me off. Firstly, the turn signals inside the dashboard have one light that comes on regardless of which direction you're indicating. Now I'm thinking it's a car, it costs several £1,000 or several $1,000 or rupees or whatever. It's an expensive piece of equipment. How hard would it have been to stick an extra bulb in the dashboard so that you can see which direction you've indicated? I mean, it's not that important. I mean, you know which way you've pushed the stick, but I mean, it's so easy to do it. It's such a cheap way of saving like 50p or 75 cents on a bulb that sits in the dash. I mean, it's always annoyed me since I was a kid. I mean, for decades I've watched cars as a child sitting in the back or as a young adult learning to drive, and you see different cars and some of them have an indicator for each direction. Blink, 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 blink. It's simple. I'm indicating right. Oh, I'm still indicating right. Right, I'm about to turn right. So is it right that I should turn right? Yes, it is right, because the indicator light says it's right. I'm indicating right, I'm going to turn right, everyone's happy, you know? I've just got to look at this thing that says you're indicating, but we won't tell you which way. And the other thing is that it clicks very quietly, okay? You can barely hear it. So coupled with the fact that the Punto has a rubbish sense of when to automatically flick it to stop, especially on roundabouts, which I don't know if you have too many roundabouts in the States there, James. You might correct me. But as I understand it from the Americans that I know, they sort of are surprised by roundabouts when they turn up in Britain. Basically, you drive in a big circle, and lots of junctions come off it. Now, when you're driving in a roundabout in my Fiat Punto, you indicate you're going to come off the roundabouts, you're driving around, you indicate left, you're going to pull off because we drive on the left. So we indicate left, we're going to pull off the roundabout, and then you come off onto your road and you turn the wheel back round, and instead of automatically flicking up and flicking off, your turn signals, it just keeps on going, and you can't hear it. So you've assumed that you're not indicating. You could be driving for miles with your indicator flashing, and everyone behind you is really nervous because they think you're about to slow down to turn in, or they think you're about to bump up in the pavement or whatever. And it's minutes later you're looking down and you think, oh bloody hell. And you've just annoyed everybody, and you feel terrible because there's nothing worse than when you're following someone and they're indicating and they're not doing anything. You're thinking, like, what are you going to do? And I'm made to be guilty of this crime thanks to that car. You know? I mean, I can't always listen out for that little click, and quite often, I've got the iPod on, or the radio, or maybe, if it's raining, as it quite often does here, the sound of the rain battering against the car can be quite deafening. It's just something that the modern motorist shouldn't have to include among his many responsibilities. Come on, Fiat.